Good evening and welcome to Game Week episode 17 here live at the Stakehouse, reviewing all of the biggest Premier League games and expert analysis along the way. I'm Conor McCabe, joined as ever by my co-pilot Lucas Dzinski. Lucas, no faffing today. We're getting straight into it with our first Premier League game, which is Newcastle versus Chelsea. And just starting off, a little chat on Enzo Maresca. I think some of his comments in the media are pretty weird, to be honest with you. I mean, the whole crypticness behind the last 48 hours have been my worst at the club. I've had no support. He then goes on to confirm that it's not the fans that have been responsible for his lack of support, which means that he's obviously talking about internally. I'm not really sure.
Wasn't he talking about some a specific podcast host, something like that? I think it was.
I mean, he says it's worst at the club. I think it runs a bit deeper than that. And if he is, then it's a big fillip in our cap. So we'll take it. We love you, Enzo, if you're listening. But look, his comments were very strange, to say the least. And I don't know what his aim was. He's obviously talking about the internal hierarchy. He's talking about the fact that he's not getting the support that he needs. Maybe he's not being backed in the way that he wants to be backed. Yet
maybe he's found out he's on his way out.
Is he? I mean, he's not doing that badly, really. He's not doing terribly. So it's very interesting why he feels the need to do this.
Look, I mean, again, if you have a good relationship with the board and the owners, you don't come out with comments like that, right?
100%. It's just conversations behind closed doors. I mean, Maresca's doing okay at Chelsea, but he's not. If he leaves Chelsea, he's not going to go on to anywhere better, right? He's not going to get the City job, the Arsenal job, jobs like this. This is probably the peak of Maresca's career, the Chelsea job. So why he's trying to follow in the footsteps and do a Nuno or anything like this, and talking about your board out loud generally only goes one way. It doesn't come across as smart comment. Remember his comments about the media as well towards the end of last season, where he basically told the media to F off when they were like, doing their job and looking at Chelsea. And he's very emotional in these situations. And I think that's one thing that he needs to really ask himself why he does these things. In terms of the game itself, Newcastle weren't very good against Sunderland. They looked overawed by the occasion. They got beaten up. They got outplayed, outfought. And there's a potential for this to get toxic if Newcastle lose this game. However, thankfully, they seem to put it together at home, at night, against the biggest teams. They did really well to overcome City, beat them 2-1 after falling behind. Did really well against Liverpool with 10 men for most of the game.
Yep.
They really do put it together in these big occasions. So I actually think they'll get a result here. But I think the tip that I want to put forward is I think we're going to see a goal fest. So you can get both teams to score in over 2.5 goals in this game at 1.91. I think that both of these sides are better going forward than they are at the back at the moment. I think there's going to be goals in this game. Both of them will look at it like it's winnable. So that's my official tip. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, which comes in at 1.91. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Probably not a bad bet, to be honest. Like, Newcastle, historically, really strong at home. Chelsea, bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. You don't know what team's going to turn up. Visser's not going to AFCON. He started today. We're recording on a Wednesday night. He scored a bit of a tap-in, but...
I mean, the Democratic Republic of Congo are overflowing with attacking options in their defence.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, last time when they signed him, he went right to like the international, and he got injured straight away. So look, they probably don't even. It's probably a bit of a dispute between the club and the country, right, around playing time and stuff like that. But look, could play two strikers, right? Who knows?
Yep, fair. Okay, let's move on. Bournemouth versus Burnley. What's your model saying?
I mean, I got Bournemouth a whole goal better than Burnley. I don't see Burnley getting anything this game. I think Bournemouth's just going to win it quite comfortably, to be honest. I was really impressed the way they fought back against United.
Yep.
That was a really good game. That towards the end, they probably had the better chances to win it, but all in all, I think United had the better chances in the game. They should have probably won instead of a draw, but I can't. I feel like it's going to be a goal fest here.
entertaining at least. Fans going to Old Trafford got value for money, and that's something that they can
For once. For once.
say. Exactly. In terms of this game, I agree. It screams dull home win. Let's say 2-0 if you want a prediction. Brighton versus Sunderland in the same theme as the last game. I think that this will be quite an interesting one. I think that Sunderland obviously riding the crest of the wave. They'll be on cloud nine still after having beaten Newcastle. You almost wonder how hard the celebrations went in terms of what was their game of the season. And Brighton riding high. I think this is, again, quite likely to be an entertaining game. And if I had to pick a side here, I'd probably just edge Brighton, but it's not with a huge degree of confidence.
Really? I got Brighton as, again, being a whole goal better. I mean, look, Sunderland have been massively overachieving for the whole season. They got 10 more They got 10 more points than they're expected to have based on the chances in the game how the game's been. Yeah, I mean it's got to come down at some point. They can't be sustaining these wins by creating very little chances every game, week in, week out. And I feel like, look, Brighton are a strong team at home. They have been a bit hit and miss, but could be a bit of a wake-up call for Sunderland.
Any value on Brighton?
Nah.
Give us a prediction.
3-0.
Lovely. Man City versus West Ham is up next. I have got an official tip for you on this one. I think City are really starting to fire on all cylinders, particularly with the re-emergence of Phil Foden. He's like a man reborn, playing some great stuff. City have just got so many attacking options as well. You've got the likes of Doku, who's on fire, Cherky, who's on fire and really adapting well to the Premier League. Tijani Reinders, Erling Haaland still doesn't miss. Just see City going to town on West Ham a little bit here. But West Ham is a side that plays better away from home than they do at home. Without the pressure of the London Stadium support, I think can work in their favour. Jared Bowen is also in a rich vein of form. I don't see West Ham getting a result here, but I do see them scoring a goal. And you can get City to win and both teams to score at 2.38, which is an official tip from me.
Okay, interesting. I mean, City were really, I'd say, fortunate to beat Palace. I know they smashed them 3-0 in the end, but it wasn't quite 3-0. Palace had by far the better chances.
Have you got over that one yet?
No, I haven't got over that. I was really
Doesn't sound like
to be honest, because first half they should have really been like 1 or 2-0 up, and that could have been potentially game over. Perhaps, who knows? But yeah, anyway, look, I think West Ham is slowly getting better. I think they put a good performance against Villa, and I feel like they should have probably got something out of that game. Definitely at least a draw. Again, Villa, another team, are massively overperforming where they should be. They've got 15 points more than they should have based on expected points, which is mental. Again, they're a team that are just not creating many chances, but converting, and it's not sustainable. A lot of shots outside the area going in. Like long term, that's not. I can see them. They're going to be drifting off. They're not going to finish in the top four where they're at.
We'll get on to them, but this one.
Okay. Oh yeah. Off on a tangent, but this one. I think there's a bit of value on West Ham +2. I think a City 1.2 is just. I think that's just a bit too short. They did rest a lot of players today against Brentford. So yeah, I'm going to put it as official tip on West Ham +2. 1.9. So look, if West Ham lose by 2 goals, you get your money back. So you just need to make sure we don't get smashed.
Seems like we're on a similar thought process here, though, because I'm sure you don't expect West Ham to shut City outright. So effectively, you're saying you're expecting at least a West Ham goal in there as well.
Yeah, look, West Ham got a busy schedule, right? They're playing Palace after that game in the Cup.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Cool. Wolves versus Brentford. I shouldn't read the text that you sent me before this podcast out, but I might have to. You put Andrews out.
Yeah, not sure what's going on. The season started really badly. Then all of a sudden we started playing really well against good teams. Now we're all of a sudden playing really badly again. The game against Leeds was horrendous. Like, we created nothing basically at home, like 0.6 XG. resorting to balls up top, like against Leeds, like don't really get it. Today as well, like we rested quite a few players, but even when we were 2-0 down, like didn't switch from the back five. I don't just go for it, right? You're 2-0 down, 10 minutes to go, just take off a centre back, just go all out attack. I don't really get what the manager's doing. Saying that, look, trust the process and all that. Brentford, that's not how Brentford do. They're not gonna. You'll be there till the end of the season, so we just got to hopefully get better and gel the team. Saying this, I think there's a bit of value on Wolves plus a half, and I feel like this could be Wolves' first win of the season.
Yep.
Saying that, look, I'll make this official. Wolves plus a half at 1.87.
Okay. I agree with you fully. Look, I mean, you've given the insight on Brentford, better than me. I'm not going to rival that. I do start to worry that there's a case of honeymoon period over now for Andrews. He got some unbelievable performance and the drop-off's a bit strange. In terms of Wolves under Rob Edwards, they've actually looked really good in every game except one. They were terrible at home to United, so I've got no idea what happened there.
Yeah.
But if you look at them every other game, they were excellent. Like really rock solid. They were desperately unlucky to lose that game at the Emirates, and not many teams can say that this year.
Yeah.
They were unlucky,
well,
as you mentioned. They were really, really unlucky away at Villa. Got undone by a long-range strike. And the two other games, Rob Edwards has clearly had an impact. But this game is vital for them. They have to beat Brentford. They have to. If they want any hope of doing anything, and maybe even that's just beating Derby's record, I don't know, but they have to beat Brentford. They just do. And at 3.6, I'm happy to take... You've gone Asian handicap. I'm happy to go straight shot on them to win this game at 3.6 based on the importance of it, based on Edwards having even more time to get his feet under the table. He will be targeting this game. 3.6 is an official tip from me. And there you go. Good to hear that we, I say good. Hopefully a good omen that we're both leaning the same way with this one.
Yeah.
Tottenham versus... Emotional hedge for you, for sure. Tottenham versus Liverpool. This is another one that screams entertainment. I think there's going to be a lot of drama, a lot of incident, and definitely a lot of goals in this one. I do think Liverpool look a lot more solid now that Mo Salah is playing less of a role. I know he came on and did all right in the last game. I don't know whether he'll start. Actually, he's gone to AFCON now, hasn't he? So he won't be here. I kind of see that as in Liverpool's favour, to be honest. If Liverpool do end up winning this game, again, the knives will be out for Frank at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Wonder which players will ignore him this time.
I mean, they created like 0.24 goals. They created a 0.24 expected goals away to Forest. 0.24. That's
the likes of GW17, the likes of Kolo Muani, the likes of Wilson Odobert. These players are just not bringing enough. They're just not doing enough in terms of justifying the fact that they were brought in. Maybe you can look at recruitment around this. I think that a lot of Spurs fans will tell you that you could, but I think that Liverpool will be a little bit too strong. So I'm gonna without a bet, I'm gonna say that my prediction for this one is Liverpool 2-1. What's your model saying?
Got Liverpool favourites by half a goal. I think the price is probably correct. So,
do you think they'll get it done as well?
Yeah, win by 1 goal.
Cool. That is a market, by the way, so feel free to check out that one. Everton versus Arsenal. I mean, we just talked about Wolves at Arsenal. That moment where Arsenal dug deep and found the 94th minute winner or whatever it was, that feels like the moment of the season so far for me when assessing the title race. If Arsenal had dropped points at Wolves, I genuinely think then it's 50-50 again between them and City. I really do. But them finding that winner so late, it just feels like a huge momentum shift in favour of Arsenal now. Some people are saying that, you look at Arsenal in recent performances and this could now be a game where they drop points. I don't see it that way. I see them on such a high after getting out of jail so hard against Wolves that now it feels like they'll go to Everton now and put on a performance. I actually feel like Arsenal will win this game fairly comfortably, like 0-2, something like this.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do. I
think there's a bit of value on Everton plus 3/4.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon. Look, Arsenal still got quite a few injuries, right?
Yep.
They're going to slip up at some point, right? And I feel like Moise will just know what to do at home at Everton, right? Yeah, I'll make this an official tip. Everton plus 3/4 at 2.09. I think there's a bit of value on there.
Okay, so we have it. Another tip that's gone out. Leeds versus Crystal Palace. I mean, Palace not in a. I mean, they've got the Europa Conference League tomorrow night. They've got Oliver Glasner, who's said that talks have stalled on his new deal. He wants out so hard.
Yeah,
it's untrue.
He's done.
He is done. And that is such a loss for Palace, particularly when Mark Gehey leaves at Christmas. Imagine if
they could end up spending 80 mil this window and buying like 3 decent players, but I doubt it. But
you can't replace Glasner and you can't replace Mark Gehey. I'd be surprised if you can replace Mark Gehey for me. They're about to plummet. They are literally about to drop like a stone. I know I said down at the start of the season that's probably not going to happen, but expect a Palace bottom 7, bottom 6 finish 100%. I'm still going to keep saying it. I know I'm Mr. Unpopular with it, but I firmly believe that's the sort of position that this side will end up in. This is a banana skin as well, away at Leeds. Based on what I've said, I've got no choice I don't have an official tip, but I think Ellen Road will get behind Leeds in this one. And I'm going to tip a home win, 2-0.
Not sure of that. I think it depends. It depends what the team's going to come out, and I feel like with Palace, because they kind of got such a small squad, it kind of almost depends if they score first or not. I feel like if they score first, they can maybe just shut up shop a bit. But I feel like if they go behind, then that's trouble for them. Saying that, they're playing on Thursday at home to Coops, whatever they're called, the Finnish team. Glasner already said he's going to rotate like heavily, and the same 11's not going to start in both games. So look, don't know what that's going to be, right? What's he going to prioritise? Who knows, right? Because they want to qualify for the conference and not through the next stage, and they don't want to go through the qualifiers.
Yeah,
right. That's an extra game. So I think there could be a bit of value on Palace 0 on age handicap, so money back if it's a draw. But I would hold off until you know what's going on this Thursday in terms of what players are playing. Anyone gets injured, how many minutes all the key players get, like Mateta, Wharton, all those guys, Gahey, etc. And then what squad starts on the day.
Maybe come in with an update yourself on the X channel after the game in terms of
X. It's Twitter, mate, not X.
Sorry, mate,
come on.
Twitter. Yeah, fair play. my bad. But yeah, come in with an update for the huge numbers of listeners in terms of whether you're going to make that official. Next up, we've got Villa versus United. I mean, you've already kind of gone through most of your Villa rant. I've been swayed a bit more, obviously. I've watched Villa a little bit over the last few weeks. Their XG stats aren't good, but they do exercise a really good degree of control over games. I think the likes of Tielemans, who what an outstanding buy from Leicester, by the way. He is so underrated. Like, what a player. Nobody talks about him. Boubacar Kamara at the back of the at the back of midfield. John McGinn, who's always that ever-present guy that just never puts a foot wrong. Their midfield is super strong. Like, they control games. As I say, when they dominated Rice and Zubimendi against Arsenal, it's like, this Villa midfield is no joke. Like, absolutely not. You've got Ollie Watkins, who looks like he's rediscovered a little bit of hunger. Maybe that's partly aiming for a January transfer away. Who knows? But he looks better. He's more determined. And so I can actually understand why Villa are where they are based on those points. They're playing against United, who have just been on an absolute roller coaster against Bournemouth. All United look a lot better at the moment from an attacking sense, which is really positive. I expect them to go to Villa Park and score. However, I also expect Villa to score against United at the other end. So my tip here actually mirrors the tip that I put forward for Newcastle and Chelsea, which is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. The reason I really like this tip is effectively you're looking for both teams to score and then just one more goal from anywhere, and the bet lands. And the price is the exact same, actually. It's 1.91. So I'm putting that forward as an official tip.
Yeah, I think Villa at home is a bit too short here. Basically just over evens at 2.15. I don't see it happening. I think there's a bit of value of United plus a quarter. I'm happy to get on that 2.03. It's important to know that Mbeumo's not playing, so that could be a bit of a factor. He's been obviously a pretty important player for them. But yeah, Villa can't sustain this. It's kind of more of a anti-Villa bet, I'd say. And more where the price is.
Yeah.
I mean, look. United unexpected points, so they should be third, right? Look, they're still, I'd say, a good team. But yeah, I can't see Villa sustaining this run. Basically, they're going to have to slip up at some point, and I feel like this could be a good opportunity for United. Like no pressure coming there, right? To get some points. So I think plus a quarter is probably a decent bet.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't. I think there is a world where United win this game for sure.
Or draw. You get a draw, then we get a half win, right?
Yep, for sure. I just think the safest option here is, personally, in my view, is backing goals. I just don't see how there's no goals in this game. I'd be absolutely shocked. United as a whole are just a good team to back in terms of goals at the moment. I know Mbeumo leaving is a bit sad, but we do have Mason Mount, who I'm a massive fan of, who comes back. I think there's a different player in there in the last few games. So, although granted wasn't brilliant against Bournemouth, but anywho, let's go on to the last game, which is Fulham versus Forest. What's your model saying on that one?
Got Fulham slight favourites at 0.2 goals. I don't know what's going on with Fulham, to be honest, because they lost the XG battle at Burnley away. I mean, that's not really acceptable, right? Who knows where they're going to finish? I've been a bit underwhelmed by Fulham. Again, they're a team that's really inconsistent. There's some games they actually play well. For example, the City game, they kind of came back and could have got a result there probably. And on the other hand, Forest as well. You know, they've had some good games, but yeah, I can't see Fulham winning this. I think it's probably going to be a draw. Yeah,
I mean, I think Fulham are just a punter's nightmare, right? I mean, you
don't know what you're going to get, right?
Exactly.
Like you can't even be like, oh, this is a banker. They're going to do bits at home. You can't even say that, right?
You can't, and then they'll go.
Just don't know what's going to turn up.
And then they'll go away against a tough team and get a result that you never expect them to. Yeah, they're just a nightmare in terms of trying to.
I feel they'll finish like 14th, 15th. They'll be all right, but they're just going to finish around there.
I mean, at the prices, I actually don't hate Forest in this game. It's not an official tip, but I don't hate it. I feel like Sean Dyche is actually stamping his mark a little bit more. I get that Tottenham were abject in the 3-0 defeat, but
yeah, they
3-0 at home still. 3-0 at home is still 3-0 at home. It was a good result. It was a good.
Yeah, bear in mind though, Forest got smashed by Everton 3-0 away, right? So
yeah, and hence it's not an official tip. I'm just saying that. I'm probably nudging towards an away win, maybe a 0-1, something like that. Remember, Fulham have a big game tonight as well. Let's talk about our summaries of bets. I'll go first. So I've got Newcastle and Chelsea. Newcastle-Chelsea, both teams to score in over 2.5 goals at 1.91. City to beat West Ham and both teams to score at 2.38. Wolves to beat Bees. Sorry, mate. Wolves at 3.6, and Villa-United again, both teams to score and over 2.5 at 1.91. What you got?
West Ham +2, 1.92. Wolves +0.5. So basically, Wolves win or draw at 1.87. Everton +0.75 at 2.1. Palace. Maybe not, depending on how Thursday goes and what plays. But if the starting lineup looks strong, and they haven't played too many minutes in on Thursday, then I'd say you should probably get on a draw no bet. So Asian handicap 0, Palace. You're looking at probably a price of evens. Anything below that, I wouldn't touch.
Okay.
And then United plus a quarter is probably a bit of value against Villa over evens.
Wow, there you go. So minimum of 8 tips with a possible 9 to come. So plenty for you to go after in terms of the latest rounds of fixtures. In the meantime, good luck with the rest of your Christmas shopping. Don't leave it to the last minute.
Christmas bunting, you mean?
Make sure, and go. Having said that, go easy on the darts bets. Volatile markets over at Ali Pali. Enjoy the rest of your football and take care of yourselves.
Cheers.